Welcome back to the Candy Wrapper 18, a program with mega backbone. Well, I hope everybody had a good week last week. I'm going to start out with something kind of neat here. I'm going to walk up and show you this picture. This picture's of I went up to see a friend of mine's brother in the hospital, and as I went out to my truck, there was a guy walking by. It was raining pretty hard, and he had given his shirt to his little son to cover him up so he wouldn't get wet. I thought it was kind of cute. I took a picture of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I thought it was kind of cute. You don't see stuff like that every day, so I just, had my camera handy, thought I'd show it. Well, last night somebody called me, by the way, and said there was only 230 graduates in the class of 2015 in Willmar. I find that really hard to believe that we needed a new school when we're only graduating 230 kids. Because my class was 342 back in 1970. And the class even after mine and after that for a while were big classes. Something isn't right here as long as we're talking on school. The school bond referendum that passed. I said on the last program, I wonder how it passed. I've only talked to one person that's voted for it, and here's what his answer was. Well, I voted for it because of my unborn grandchild. Unborn grandchild, you voted for it? Well, sorry, that doesn't compute with me, but everybody has kind of a wild way why they voted. But here's the other thing is, people. Those election judges or whoever was working there were going out in the parking lot and having seniors and kind of disabled seniors that had a problem getting in there, plus other people because they wanted to get a lot of votes in. They were taking the votes right from the car, having the people vote in the car, carrying, and then these people were hand carrying it inside. In my eyes, nobody sees Bob's vote. Who I vote for is my personal business. I think that's illegal. I think we need to check into that. I think this whole voting for that school referendum in Willmar, Minnesota, there's something not right here. My opinion, as this show is based on. I don't like what happened. And another thing, something that bothers me, is I was told, allegedly, Marv Calvin, Mayor Calhoun, gave an applicant for the fire chief's position, he gave him a copy of the test along with the answers because he wants that guy to get in. And right now he is a police officer. No fire experience whatsoever, but that is not correct. Where is this transparency issue going with our mayor? People, I don't get it. In this recall Ron business, here's the thing I was given that my little nemesis on Facebook, Jason Doherty, this is from his page this morning. The recall of Ron Christensen and the rest is mainly due to performance issues. The inability to hire and fire employees without costing the taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees is the question. The fact is that Ron Christensen completely ignores a room full of residents while allowing his good buddy, Bob, the idiot scorer, to continue to promote Willmar as a dead zone filled with Ebola on RAK 8. RAK spelled W-R-A-K-K-K. Will only lead the city into more financial liability, not to mention making our entire town look like a bunch of racist, uneducated asshats. It's not personal. Ron Christensen simply needs to find another part-time job. Plenty of them out there to choose from. Time to get over it. Well, this is one of the guys that filed a complaint, along with his mother, against my program number 13. And they said it was unbelievably nasty. Well, I don't think anything I've ever said is any nastier than what he just called me and Ron and what he said in here about Rack 8. I think that's totally uncalled for. But I'm going to say her name, Bev Doherty, and her son Jason. Just keep going and keep going. You look at his Willmar Crier, and you look at his other Facebook page, and you'll see how he writes. But I can't say anything on here. Now, what I just said, use the word asshat, that was a quote directly from him. Didn't want to say that, but some of the stuff needs to come out, people. This behind-the-scenes stuff, and everybody running and saying, oh, he's threatening me and stuff. No, I'm standing my ground. I'm a proud American. Again, I didn't grow up this way, and I will not accept this. And if they can't accept me talking about what they write about me, that's how this all started. He started nailing me, slandering me on his Facebook page a long time ago because I spoke at city council meetings. Now I'm just repeating, and there's plenty here. And this guy's got some police records that he shouldn't be smarting off about. But again, hey, this is how Willmar works. There's a few out there, the vocal minority, that like to stir things up. But I stand my ground, and I will stand my ground, not just for me, but for other innocent victims that keep getting picked on by this clown and that Recall Ron group, whatever. Now, it isn't him based on his job performance. Ron has been one of the most vocal city council people that's cared in his 20-year history on the council. Now, Jason, you like to write this stuff. You say there's plenty of part-time jobs out there. Yeah, you got one. You're the Willmar Downtown Water Boy, a.k.a. Jason Boucher. Now, you got a part-time job. Lucky you can handle that one. How do you like that? Ron's a lot more talented, and I don't think he has anything to worry about. Except people like you that like to slander him and make lies up all the time. I'm just getting tired of it. And I will use my program to voice my opinion. I said Willmar is a dead zone. Yes, in the terms as hardly anybody comes down here anymore. It isn't flourishing like it used to be. It's not like there's nothing going on here, Jason. Get a grip on it. And quit saying this racist and hate-filled stuff. There's nobody more hate-filled than you. It shows right here. And calling Rack 8 KKK, get over that one. So, I want to say this. A lot of people don't know this. Our ex-city administrator spent approximately $80,000 of taxpayer money to defend herself against grievances against her, and approximately 5 employees quit due to her after she started. The day she left, it was written in her separation agreement that no one could be in the office. Now, every place I've worked, they walk you out, they're sitting there. When you clean out your desk, they're making sure you're not taking anything that doesn't belong to you. Nobody could be in the office that day when she was leaving. Plus, she took her personal computer. What's that tell you? You people know that? You know it now. That's what's going on. There's a lot of goods on that computer, and she took stuff that she shouldn't have, but hey, that was Mayor Calhoun behind that one, allowed her to do that in her agreement. People, we need to really get the facts out here. Go ahead and pick on Ron. You morons out there, I want to say, because that's what you are. You can't let it rest. And last night at the council meeting, this guy calls me an idiot. Well, somebody called Steve Gardner an idiot. Well, if the shoe fits, wear it, Steve. But again, he brings my name up, Bobby and his name up, said that we campaigned on an open forum at the city council meeting. I never once said anything about my campaign, that I was running for mayor or anything. I talked before at the council meetings, at the open forum, before I ran for mayor, and I just continued in there. Gardner says I was getting airtime. That's like campaigning. No, it's not. Sorry. that's the way it worked. Nobody said anything about that. All they said is I couldn't mention any campaign stuff. And I never did. So when somebody called him an idiot, well, maybe they had it right. But people, we need to support the other people that are getting slammed on all the time, getting bullied in this town. But it's a certain group that always tries to stand out. I don't know. Again, bunch of poor losers in my opinion. Let's move on a little bit here. Here's one I was going to talk about before. The wind turbines. You know, they had some severe oil leaks. Lost a lot of gallons of oil out there. That's a wildlife production area, and nothing was ever stated. Nothing ever happened about that. There should have been a fine. Should have been a cleanup process out there. Nothing ever got said about it. Pushed under the carpet again. And the new lift station out at Midwest Tech, I was wondering about that because when they put the bike path in out there, they had historical issues. They said, oh, they couldn't disturb the ground without having everything checked. So they did a big study on that. But when they did this lift station, never heard a thing about digging out farther and maybe unearthing some historical stuff. Another difference. Should have been checked, but it wasn't. I don't get it. Can do something one time, but not another. But then Audrey says, oh, we've done it before, so we got to do it again. And what I'm talking about is that water upgrade for the brew pub uptown. Now, the people that have that building, you mean to tell me that you didn't understand that when you put in a brewery, it takes a lot of water in and there's a lot of sewer going out. So we, the taxpayers, are supposed to flip this bill? I don't think so. I will be looking on your taxes to make sure that you're being assessed because this isn't right. You should have taken care of that. That's your responsibility, not ours as the taxpayers. How much do you certain people always want to dump on the taxpayers and have us contribute your way? So while we're talking on that, let's talk about the Willmar Downtown Development Center, Inc., whatever they call themselves. Why do they keep getting money from the city? $37,000. $5,000 for the holidays parade. She gets her grants, over $20,000 worth, and now $9,000, $4,500 up front, and another $4,500 for doing the Willmar Beautification Flower Program, who we have Jason Boucher, the water boy, taking care of. Now, if you don't like me saying something about your son or whatever, then tell him to quit banging everybody else, me included. But you don't like that karma, do you? Well, it's too bad. But people, why are we keep giving money to this certain deal? Why don't we have First Street beautification development come up so they can get some money? South First Street, whatever. I don't understand why we have to keep giving money to this one group all the time. It doesn't make sense. My opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's move on. Pep Sports Bar, promoting Little Texas country band, really good in the 90s. Again, at Pep's on Friday, June 19th. If you need tickets, you can call 320-905-8407. And, or I think you can get your tickets out at Pep's out there at Sports Bar. Maybe even at his barbershop. But again, very good band if you like country. Tickets are going fast, so hey, check it out. Like I said, a week ago I went to Rapid City and I went to the Eric Church concert. Unbelievable. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, he had Blackhawk there last time. Really did well. There's a local group opening for Little Texas also. So you need to get out there. Should be a good time. And don't worry about getting shot or stabbed.
Better now.
Hey, that's a chance we take no matter what. Coming uptown, going out to Walmart, whatever. You never know in this town. Never know anywhere. So I always look at it, if something happens, well, at least I was going to have a good time. Garage sale brings legal questions. I like this one. I saw this morning. Some people are having them every week, like trying to make a living. Well, what's that tell you in Willmar? Maybe people need some extra money and things aren't that good, but we keep spending in town, but we don't address the people that really need help here. I never hear anybody talk about the seniors, except me. Why? You think the school bond referendum and all this other spending is going to help the seniors with their groceries, with their meds, with their drugs, whatever they need, with their gas to get around, postage to pay their bills? Let's care. So what, a garage sale? La-di-da. People are trying to make money to survive? That's called what? Survival. Let's not get real critical on this. You're trying to make what? Here's another thing. You're going to say these garage signs are kind of ugly and create a problem. A while back, Randy Cardell told me that the city was doing a citywide cleanup. Well, I don't think it was citywide because there's a lot of places out there that need to be cleaned up. But certain people called in on certain people, didn't they? And it kind of like died right out. So let's not, Willmar is Willmar. Again, the demographics. Hey, uptown. What's with the old Franz Toggery building on the corner here? Wow. It looks like some old burned out thing right from over in Somalia. What's going on? Terrible. Anyway, just for a garage sale brings legal questions. And then
Randy.
when garage sailors start turning residential areas into mercantile zones, neighbors complain, and the city steps in, limiting people to one sale a month. There's one or two homes that try to turn their garage sales into a business every summer. Well, so what? So what? Jeez, if they were, oh God. Let's not even get onto this. It's so petty. But, hey, I'm all for the guy trying to make an extra buck to survive. You got to remember, City of Willmar, you're putting a burden on everybody here. A lot of people don't make good money here. But you in the city opposite that are making $100K plus a year, it's a little different story. You look at it in a different way. That's the way Willmar works. So, I've got a bunch of stuff here that my friend on Facebook has written out. Always bashing. Got his little record sheet here. Municipal utilities, I see they got new billing out. Why couldn't they have thrown an extra 40 cents on there, or excuse me, whatever it is, 48 cents now, whatever a stamp is. I don't even know because I just go get them. Why do we have prepaid envelopes? You know, come on. For what we paid, you increased our rates, let's give the consumer a little bit back. But that can't happen. And to recall Ron, people, I'm just going to pick up some random stuff here. You kind of forgot about those phone calls from Audrey and Dennis to Charlene. Why is that? Why is that? You guys, let's get to the real facts here. Like I said, she walked out with her computer and nobody could be in the office. How about that? That's not right. Oh, this one really smoked me. Wayne Nelson. Two meetings ago, whenever it was, anyway, last time he talked, he gets up there and he gives his condolences to Ron and Ron's family for the loss of Ron's mother. And then he turns right around, hardly skips a beat, and just hammers on him. Hey, Wayne, did you ever send Ron a card? Bet you didn't. Audrey Dennis? Bet you didn't either. Where's your professionalism? You recall people? Yeah, back up those three right there. That's how it works. No. Another thing is, my friend Jason Doherty writes on his Facebook that I was escorted out of by the police at a city council meeting. Never happened. This guy just keeps writing mistruths all the time, just like the recall, and I know that he has to do the web page for those guys, Facebook page, because it's just, everything is just the way it's written on his town crier. Prove it. I never got escorted out, personally escorted out. But that's the mistruths that they try to spread and get people to suck up on all the time. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff people say they got this, and prove it. Prove it. Why do you keep doing this, you people? I was never brought up that way. Don't push too hard, that's all I want to say. Oh, here's a good one. Bob Enos. I went up to see his brother, was in the hospital. He has a service dog because he's handicapped. It is a certified service dog. Joni is the dog's name. Very good dog, very well behaved, loves attention. So anyway, after seeing Mikey, I left. That's when I took that picture of that guy out walking on the street with a kid with his dad's shirt over his head. So anyway, Bob called me a little later and said I was taking Joni out to go to the bathroom, the dog, and elevator came up, and there was a white nurse and 4 Somalis on her. Bob tried to enter the elevator, and the nurse said, "Can't you wait for another one?" And the Somalis backed up. And Bob said, "Why?" She goes, "Well, can't you wait for another one?" She said, "These people might be allergic to dogs and da-da-da." Bob says, "It's really not about that, is it?" And Bob got on the elevator. Now, people, we do have a problem in this town. She said she was going to talk to her supervisor, and Bob said, "Go ahead." People, when handicapped people have a service dog and the dogs are allowed in a hospital, they should be allowed on the elevator no matter who's on there. Hispanic, Somali, white, doesn't make any difference. Bob would never take a dog that wasn't a pit bull, people. It was a registered, certified service dog. Again, we'll be called racist because of that, but so be it. Again, this is America. This is the way it's supposed to work, but there are issues, and there are issues in this town, and we need to address them. It's really sad. So on that, let's go a little bit again. Anyway, Crier Andreessen's cabin. For you that have never been out there, now this cabin dates back to 1858. It was a scene of a massacre that Crier Andreessen survived during the Dakota War of 1862. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1986. Back in the 60s, early 70s, we used to go camping out there for scouts all the time. It was wide open. You could climb all around that place. But it is a neat little piece of history for Candioi County and the Willmar area. So if you haven't been out there, get a chance to go out there. It's just kind of neat to see, you know, local history. Okay, the Left Central Spittoon got a new logo, new fonts. They haven't changed their policy of being very liberal or biased, but that's the way that goes. Then I heard on the radio, listen to Open Mic. Seems like the radio station really supports this Recall Ron stuff. They brought it up about 6 times. I don't get it, but so we have the Recall Ron group, we have the paper, listen.
Bist du allein von allen Freunden verlassen, dann geh in die Stadt.
Here's the editor. An anti-democratic sentiment. But in there he quotes that, to use Ron's words, the council can do anything, make any motion, even if it's illegal. Ron quoted Dick Halterman, who used to be a council person. That's what Dick had told him. But see, this is how this group works now. Ron made a quote, but they're saying, because Ron said it, that those were Ron's words. No, Ron quoted somebody. Welch, get this straight. Recall Ron group, get it straight. He did not say that, but you guys just keep twisting things around. So people out there, don't believe all this stuff. Get the facts. That's what I try to do all the time. I don't stick my neck out if I don't have the facts. It's the truth, like it or not. So, here we got some records again. Somebody's trying to force himself into a residence with a dispute with a tenant. We've got another trailer was stolen. We have guy stole $10,000 worth of electronics from Walmart, or from a Willmar business, excuse me. Oh, it was Walmart. Okay. And then 2 more domestic assaults. Like I said, people, we got to address that. I wish our mayor would talk on it, but he doesn't. Other things are more important. He backs this recall Ron stuff, and he's had some meetings under the table that are just starting to come out. But again, that's the way it works. 6 more cases of bird flu reported. So we have avian flu. Total counts 102 farms in Minnesota. And a gal asked me last night, what do you think about depositing all this dead bird compost onto the fields? I said, I don't really think it's a good deal. I don't know if they've done many studies to see if there's anything that can be contracted once it gets into the food or whatever's planted there. But they don't talk about that too much. Second degree murder suspect won't settle. Whatever. Suspected theft at a Willmar Veterans Grave site solved. Now, there's Boy Scouts supposedly had taken some of them down and put them away. That Boy Scout troop should be mentioned, who did it, and have some kudos for that, but they don't. There was a big deal. They thought somebody stole stuff, and I was pretty mad about it too, so I'm glad it didn't happen. But again, I know how people have to survive by stealing stuff, especially if they're dependent on drugs or alcohol. Oh, before I forget, there's a song out there. It's called Whiskey for My Men and Beer for My Horses. We raise up our glasses against evil forces. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm raising my glass against this evil recall Ron force and any other evil forces in town that are trying to get their way and pad that city council with their people. So, people, I'm getting short here. So, try to find some time and get out to that concert out at Peps. I think you'll enjoy it. And one thing too, do not be a mama's boy, and definitely don't be a crier. And try to find a reason to smile. So until Candy Rapper 19, thanks for your time, appreciate it, and thanks for everybody that stopped by and talked to me, said they like my program, and don't stop it, Bob. I won't. Don't stop, Bob. Because these people need to be countered, and I will do it for myself and everybody else. Thank you again.
Thank you, Bob.
See you next time.